Hey VC, Jeff. Yeah, back again. Has quite the stack over the last week. Been home from work and feeling a little better, but yeah, recovery's been pretty slow. So I don't know. Might have to take another trip up to the doctor. We'll see. So hope everyone's been well. Yeah, I'm just gonna jump in. Got a stack of vinyl, mostly revisits, and a bunch of CDs. Some of those are, about half of those are new acquires. Jumping in. I could just listen to this one. I picked this up a year and a half ago or so. I don't know. Tears of Fire Evangelist. He did. Yeah, I think he's most famous for. Well, he was, of course, when was it? Is it Aphrodite's Child or that 666 album? But anyway, but yeah, he was solo work anyway. Probably most famous for the Blade Runner soundtrack, which one of my favorite soundtracks. Yeah, this one's pretty classical too. This is a extremely clean, near mint vinyl anyway. Slight ring wear on the cover, but a really clean copy. It's actually pretty damn good. Just electronic soundtrack, whatever. You can get this cheap all day long. Worth seeking out in the bins, bargain bins, I guess. I wouldn't pay a lot for it. You can pretty much find this anywhere for a few bucks or less, I'd say. Find a clean copy, a few bucks, it's worth it. It's pretty solid for, it's slightly dated, but it's a pretty solid soundtrack. I've had this one for years. Picked this up maybe in high school from the shop that carried a lot of noise stuff. So I think it's pronounced Oot, and this is one of their last albums and one of their best ones, Griller. So UT or Oots, I don't know which they go by, to be honest. Maybe someone's been around the block a little longer than me might know this. But yeah, this is UK pressing on Blast First. Pretty solid album. I give it 4.5 all day long. New York No Wave, All Girls. I think they were active all the way into the 2000s. They might even still be around in some form or another. I'm not even sure anymore. I think they have probably like 7 or 8 albums ish. I have a couple of them. I probably want to get the first one, and that's probably the only other one I want to get. So I got this one in like the early life, which is like live of the early material. With the first one. The double album's not as strong, but it does definitely have some good tracks on it. But yeah, if you're a fan of the like early Sonic Youth kind of stuff, you probably dig this. Picked this up while back in Japan, Japanese pressing, Metamorphosis by the Stones. That kind of transitional period when they're going from the straight up blues to, the classic Stone sound. Yeah, it's got, Try a Little Harder, Out of Time, I Don't Know Why, which is one of my favorite tunes. But yeah, pretty solid album. I love that artwork, it's great. Yeah, 4.5 on that one too. Yeah, a lot of good stuff in the stack. Drive Like Jehu. Interestingly, this one comes with like a 7-inch. I ended up with 2 7-inches. Like my friend gave me part of his collection, and he included the 7-inch. So I think Sean got that. So Sean, those last 3 tracks there, those are the ones you got. They're actually some of the better tracks on here, surprisingly. Drive Like Jehu is a pretty classic, noise rock band. Pretty straightforward. Noisy rock. I don't know. They weren't really breaking a lot of ground. It kind of borders on the math rock a bit, but it's definitely on the noisier side. So Yank Crime. They had 2 major albums. I think this is the slightly better of the 2 major ones. And they had a bunch of singles, but I don't know. I think this was on Cargo Records. So it's going to be a little heavier. Yeah, that one. Yeah, I don't know, 4.5-ish. It's a favorite noise rock realm, but I'm not sure it'd quite peek into my top 100. Yeah, again, pretty noisy album. Blue Chairs First, this one shows up in the VC a lot. First pressing, so it's got like the embossed cover. Stereo. Yeah, I don't know. The stereo sounds alright, but I'm guessing this one most people want the mono, but yeah, the stereo sounds alright on this one if you're on the fence on it. You can get I think the stereo is a little bit easier to get. But excellent album. It's a bit uneven. You know, it's got, you know, sometimes blues on it, and oh shoot, Doctor Please. It's quite noisy though. Rock Me Baby. It's a little uneven. So I give it a 4, but when it kicks, it really kicks. It's definitely worth picking up when you see it. It's not that hard to get. Shown this one before, Curlew. So this is actual, like, somebody's sketch page they've pasted on here, and they've the other copies I've seen, they have different pictures from the sketch pad. I guess there's like 500, and they just did 500 drawings or something and just pasted it. And then they all have like different words on it. This particular one is called Gussy, I guess. It has nothing to do with that picture, because like other pictures I've seen are like guns or whatever, like just little knickknacks. So yeah, free jazz. Actually, the next album I was going to show, probably should have shown first. Yeah, if you like these guys, you'd like these guys. So, this one, I don't know. It's at least a 4, maybe 4.25. I'd say it's a little better than a 4. It's not as strong as some other bands, but it's pretty damn good. They do have quite a few albums out, but yeah, I don't know. They don't seem to be well reviewed for whatever reason. But this album is pretty tight. So yeah, if you're into like the free jazzy stuff, you know, Andrew Tales from Great, you would love this. Check that out. So yeah, it's free jazz, and if you can't find that stream, it sounds pretty much the same as this. Revolutionary ensemble. It's like a lot of breathing room. Kind of far out there. Free jazz. A lot of breathing room. This one's got what's the name? Leroy Jenkins on violin, viola, drums, bugle, metal hoops, flute, tape recorder, and bass. And pretty much same deal with that album. This album I would give it a higher rating, 4.5. It was pretty classic. Yeah, I think I might pay a couple bucks for this. This was a yard sale find. I actually have to start hitting the yard sales again. That was a good one from last summer. I looked into that, and first pressing Black Flag, as well as other crazy stuff for a couple bucks. I just bought a stack and got lucky. Some of that was better than the others, but I definitely didn't want them to catch on that some albums were worth more than a couple bucks. So I threw some Shaka Khan and stuff in there too. This one, repress Le Orme, was Ad Glorium. So it's Italian psych, pop psychish. Of course, most of the lyrics, or all the lyrics, are in Italian. Kind of chanting. It kind of borders on that. What do you call that? That kind of medieval sound. What do you call that? The chatham. God, I'm pulling a blank. Yeah, I'm not 100% today. Anyway, but it's got that kind of little bit of that. Oh, broke. Yeah, it's got a little bit of that going on, but it's much more psych than anything. Because I'm not really big on the broke sound, so I love this album. So this one is again pretty damn solid, 4.5. I think you can still get that for under 30 bucks around, but you might have to pay for shipping because it's an Italian album. I got this as part of a box set or something. One of those like grab bags or something. Mecha Normal on Krex. I love that album cover. Two-man band, or woman plus man, whatever. Female vocals, pretty raw, pop, indie pop, pretty noisy, abrasive. I would get, I'd say it's also leans a little bit on the feminist side of things, but not completely. It's losing my bandage. So it's a pretty solid album, but maybe a 4.5, 4-ish. So definitely not for everyone. It's kind of abrasive, but there definitely is something there, and I do enjoy their albums. And this one I picked up a long time ago. Alalas, this is their first album. The first two albums are pretty similar, and then I think they went a slightly different direction on the third album. I don't know how many albums they have anymore. So Alala, self-titled, kind of surf garage California sound. It's one of those albums you like to just put on and chill to. It's kind of that good time vibe stuff. California, not quite Beach Boys, but I think like Best Coast or something along those lines. I'd say it's a little better than Best Coast though. Good stuff. I'll highly recommend it. Steve, if you've never checked them out, that is definitely very much in your wheelhouse. And some CDs, quite a lot of CDs actually. This was a recent purchase. Looked into a copy in the States because this is not easy to come by. Usually you have to import these. Copas Grinders, and this is some live stuff from 91, 92. Noise rock. They're label mates in Japan with Unsane. And if you know Unsane, it is really harsh noise rock. And yeah, if you like Drive Like Jehu, they sound really similar to Drive Like Jehu. The sounds on this one, I think this was their first full-length album. The sounds a little, because it's live too. It's, you know, there's some covers. There's a really kick-ass Mudhoney cover on this of In and Out of Grace, and they cover "Want to Be Your Dog" too. So it's a little uneven up their sound. I think they were kind of figuring themselves out at this point, but it's a pretty damn good album for what I paid for it. Yeah, I'm happy because these, by the time you ship them in the States, usually they're over $30, and their other albums go for a lot more. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. So Copas Grinders, you like Unsane, or you like Drive Like Jehu, you'd probably like those guys. Not for everyone. They're definitely really into the graphic artwork and a lot of the covers. Been working through that box still. I think there's 8 discs in this, or 9 discs. I think 9 discs. 8 or 9 discs anyway. It has the complete stack singles box set. I showed this before. I want to say it's a European release. Highly recommend it if you get a hold of it. Really excellent. I haven't read the whole book. It's like a really thick book. It goes into like all the bands and the singles. But yeah, highly recommend this if you like Stax Records. Yeah, threw this back on. Pretty classic. Don't need to go too much into this. Just give me a warning. So if you buy this, it has the first 2 albums together. The mix on the first album is really hot on here. It's okay on speakers, but it's really harsh on headphones. It sounds like crap. It's really tinny. But yeah, so far it does sound pretty good, you know, on headphones. So yeah, you can get this one pretty cheaper, but you know, Krautrock, pretty classic. I think I like their 4th album the best, but yeah, the 2nd album's pretty damn good too. I would give this one a little demerit on the sound quality, but if it wasn't for the sound quality, yeah, that would be a 4.5. Yeah, this was a gift from John a while back. Gave us another listen. It shows up a lot in the millennial type stuff. It's a Vaporwave. This is the Vaporwave album. I don't know. I like the really dark Vaporwave stuff. This one, it's basically city pop that's been Japanese city pop that's been just, what do you call it? Just run through a tape deck a few times and layered a few times, maybe. I don't know. It's just sampling older stuff. Not a massive city pop fan. I bought a bit just because I was kind of experimenting right before I left Japan, but I think I'm gonna sell all that stuff. It just doesn't appeal to me. So I don't know. I'm on the fence on this. It has a little kind of that atmosphere vibe going. It's kind of interesting listen. I don't know. The more I listen to this, the less I like it. I think so. So right now I'm sitting around a 3 on this guy. I don't know. It seems like every time I listen to it, I like it less. I don't know. This one's quite good though. So Godhead Silo, so bass and drums, basically math rock, little on the noisy side. Definitely math rock though. This is a classic. What do you call it? Skyward in Triumph. There's a couple different covers, but if you get the demo version, it's different. Um, I like, was it elephantitis or something like that? It's like a yellow cover. I think that one's my personal favorite, but this one comes in really close. That's pretty damn solid, 4.5. This one little disappointing, but not bad. Milkshakes, of course, Billy Childish is I think I don't know if it was his first band, but it was definitely one of his first bands. Um, this is the Missing Ninth album. The story, if you read the letters, is kind of interesting. So apparently they recorded this, they're working down the street, they got mugged, the album disappeared, and then, I don't know, 10, 15 years later, one of the members was doing some gardening in one of the other guys' garden, helping him out for his birthday or something, I don't know. And then they were digging out, they found a trash bag, and there, lo and behold, buried in the garden was the tape. So I guess it's true, who knows. Not as good as their other albums, I would say. But yeah, if you find it cheap enough, whatever. But it's still pretty good. But yeah, no real standout tracks on this. Usually with Billy Childish, there's like 2 or 3 really good tracks on every one. Everything on here is, there's nothing that really rises above. It's okay, you know. I'll give this one 3.5. It's not their best ever, but I do really like the Milkshakes otherwise. I think Sean just showed this too because he saw it on my Instagram. See if that even focuses. Focal length is terrible on this camera. So Vivian Goldman. So she was more of a like a journalist than anything, I think, or is a journalist. I think she's still. I'm pretty sure she's still around actually. Out of New York. You know, it's kind of active somewhat in the no wave scene and the dub scene. So this is a compilation of her musical work. She was friendly with a lot of musicians. My understanding, looking at her disc guides, is she focused a lot on the Caribbean stuff when she was writing. Uh, and you're gonna hear that here. So if if you like the slits, you like the raincoats, you'll like this. Has a little bit of a kind of a no wave slant on it. You know, it's more dub than anything. You know, you're gonna hear the sax, you're gonna get that kind of a prominent bass, whatever. You know, yeah, raincoats, especially the slits. It's in the same wheelhouse. This is better. This really is better. It's a comp. This is CD. It's a comp of her. I guess she had a cassette. I think like a mini LP, and she appeared on one of the Flying Lizards albums. So it contains basically 3 sets of recordings on here in a single disc, and maybe like 1 or 2 unreleased things or whatever. I don't know. But yeah, pretty damn solid. 4.5. You know, if you like the slits, it's in the same wheelhouse, but I would say this is definitely better. Sean and I both agree on that. Yeah, this one was a freebie a while back. I had one of their albums before I sold it. I got it back from the same dude, I think. Clawhammer, Pablum, I think it's their second or third album. They were, I think they started like mid to late 80s. They were active up to early 2000s. And they fall in that kind of that Mudhoney kind of category where they're kind of borderline grunge, they're borderline blues rock, borderline garage. They kind of get in there with I don't know, the guy's vocals like just really like they're the vocals are definitely heavily influenced by Devo, and it's really grating for me when you're doing garage rock. They do have an album, which I do have, but I haven't listened to it, where they're just covering Devo, and supposedly that's their best album. But I don't know if it's the songwriting or if it's just that voice, but I don't know, man. I just found myself not getting to this one at all. So this is probably the least favorite of this whole stack. They do have a pretty killer split with Red Ants, though. But this guy, for me, it's like maybe 2.5 ish. Didn't really care for it. There's definitely some musicianship on there. It's on like Epitaph or whatever. But just doesn't appeal to me. This one's damn good. Recent purchase, signed by the singer guitarist. I thought that was pretty cool because I didn't know that when I bought it. it's a moto. This is, I think, Kill Moto. They formed very early 80s, like 80, 81. Kind of like almost like a Detroit kind of rock band, proto, Stink Stooges or something. They're in that wheelhouse. This album's damn good. I don't think they have any bad albums, but I think of their catalog, this might be their best. This is 2003. I had the chance to see them maybe 5 or 10 years ago. They were freaking awesome, man. They were awesome. But yeah, if you see this, this as a vinyl, I kicking myself because I saw this on vinyl. But yeah, the CDs especially are pretty inexpensive. But I think even the vinyl's not that bad. It's just finding it. I had one in my hand like a few months back. I didn't buy it. Stupid. But yeah, this one kicks ass. Worth checking out. Moto. I forget what this stands for. Something stupid. Anyway, Mothers of the Other. I don't know. It's I don't know. You can look it up. But yeah, worth checking out. Kind of really raw, garagey, not Stooges kind of vein. I believe they're out of Chicago. They very frequently fly out to Japan, hang out with the degenerate type crowd. Had the opportunity to see them. Awesome. Check it out. Very solid album. I wouldn't know if I'd give it quite a 5, but 4.5 there. And yeah, this was another recent acquisition. I'm getting really long on this one. Eyeball Skeleton, just called number 1. Outsider rock, outsider punk, whatever you want to call it. It's kind of curious because I didn't know this until I bought it. I've been eyeing this for a while because I found it when I was streaming Daniel Johnson or something, and then Spotify suggested this one. I absolutely love this album. I'll just say it's 4.5. So it's from what I'm reading the liner notes, it seems to be a father and his like kids. He's like dad and like 3 kids. It sounds like it too, but it's tight. It's good. It's fun. Its tracks are like Eyeball Skeletons, Spooky Mummy Case, Flat Top Vampire, The Smoky Turtle, Redfish, Bouncing Apes, Cyclops Girl, Bad Guys 2, I Don't Eat Cereal on Weekends. The funny thing is, like, yeah, I think they're from my hometown. I was reading the notes. They're from like a small town just outside of DC. I was like, damn, okay. So I might even know these guys. Who knows? This was early 2000s, so they would have been a little on the young side. But who knows? Maybe I knew their dad or something. But yeah, Eyeball Skeleton. If you like that outsider, Daniel Johnson kind of stuff, I'd say this is just as good as fun. And if you don't mind, 8-year-olds singing about vampires, it does kick some ass. It's funny. It's like a 20-25 minute album. Don't pay too much for it. The prices go all over the place. I only paid like $2 or $3 for this. Anyway, I'm stopping there. Take care, guys, and I'm uploading this before it gets any longer. Cheers.